Now let's get started with the goddamn show.
All right.
Today we're going to be talking about mayhem, madness, murder, and tigers. And more tigers and more murder and more mischief. This is Tiger King, a show that probably would not have gone anywhere if it didn't show up on Netflix during a pandemic when people had literally nothing else to watch.
Yeah.
And
that's the only reason I watched it.
Yeah, me too. Now it's a worldwide phenomenon.
I actually watched it only after the memes started coming out. I started seeing all the memes about it, and I'm like, all right, I got to check this out. Because it was like just crazy memes about like tigers and methamphetamines. And I was like, all right, well, okay, what is this show?
I think I was in a group chat, and somebody in the chat was like sent something about it, or they were like, hey, did you watch that Tiger King thing yet? And we were like, no, what is it? And he like briefly describes it, and then I see the trailer and I'm like, oh good god.
It was yeah, when I like started to like look at like videos and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, I have to. I think probably the most famous, like, where he has to go tell the crowd of people that someone lost their arm. And then he's like, I'm never going to financially recover from this. I think that was probably like the first clip of Tiger King that I saw.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you only care about the financials.
Of course.
Of course. Not to mention that the person whose arm got like mauled off by a tiger was like his employee.
Yeah, and it's funny because she didn't even like really care that much. She's like, oh, whatever, I lost my arm.
Yeah,
and she was still like,
his employees are like the only people that have any real redeeming value to them, because they're just they're just kind of like a band of misfits. I don't want to call them a ragtag group of rogues essentially, but they'd be more of a band of misfits, and he helped them out. He like gave them employment when other people would not, which I don't know. I think with all these like crazy big cat people, I think it starts from a good place and then like it just takes on a life of its own, and then the ego gets like super like jacked up.
Well, that's definitely what happened.
Yeah, it's
Joe
just
Exotic's.
Well, I mean, him and probably with the Doc Antle guy too. Like that guy's a maniac as well.
Well, that guy is like clearly just full of himself.
Oh yeah.
I think Joe Exotic started with like his heart in the right place, and just kind of like fell to the dark side over time. Especially after the whole like Carol Baskin lawsuit, kind of like just like drove him deeper and deeper into a hole that he just couldn't get out of.
Yeah.
But even if you look how he started, he wanted this. He started doing shows to be anti-drug because of what happened to his brother. So if you look where he started and where he ended up, it blows my mind to see that big of a change.
Yeah.
When you start to where you end.
Yeah. Well, he was doing magic too. Like he wanted to do this as part of like a magic act.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he like also kind of had like this thing that he wanted to do with like country music, which he ended up not really playing or singing on any of the. He never actually did any of the music that he like
claimed to do.
Milli Vanilli.
Yeah.
Yeah. He apparently also didn't tell the people that had recorded the actual vocals that he was going to do that. Like, make a music video where he was singing their vocals, basically.
Oh, God.
And it's weird because he does actually sing. Like, there's that scene where when his husband died, and he sang at the funeral, and you could tell it's him singing. It wasn't just, like, a recording. So it's like he could actually sing, but I guess he didn't sing good enough to like be the lead singer or something. I don't know. I guess he had a standard in his head that he couldn't quite reach, so he figured I'll just do this. Yeah.
They said here too, he did do a little bit of singing on some of the songs, so that's why they chose not to call him out on it at all on the show for fact checking. There was just enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was probably like background noises more than anything.
Yeah, it was probably just the harmonies, vocal harmonies and stuff that he sang.
Yeah. So he can technically say that he did do the country music.
Right. Yeah, on a technicality, basically.
Yeah.
But and then presented it as he was the only singer,
Yeah.